Fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for representing so long, 90,000 fans here, and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it up
Paint the sky your favorite color.
What up, fight fans? It's the mighty mean Joe Frazier. We're here to talk about some of the fights going down in June. Because we're already at the end of May. We got one big fight to go. So we're looking ahead at June and seeing what we got going on. Looks like we're going to have a card going on in Montreal, Quebec on June 3rd. Some light heavyweight bouts going on here. Elder Alvarez taking on Jean Pasquale. And Alvarez's current record is 22-0 with 11 knockouts. Pasquale is 31-4-1. Man, I think at this point Pasquale's pretty much past his prime. Pasquale beat an unknown, and his last loss was to Sergey Kovalev. Over on the Elder Alvarez side, it looks like he has a win against Butte. He has a great jab, decent power. He's the younger fighter, the fresher guy. I'm definitely going with Alvarez to win, most likely a unanimous decision. Pasquale doesn't have an iron jaw, but I don't think this guy Alvarez has enough power to take him out. And that's looking like that's going to be the undercard on June 3rd. The main event is going to be the return of Adonis Superman Stevenson, who's 28 wins, 23 by knockout with 1 loss. He's 39, almost 40 years old. I mean, I'd like to see Stevenson in with some bigger names. And for you who don't know, Stevenson is actually 5'11", 77-inch reach. He's a southpaw. His last KO was over Thomas Williams Jr., and he's going to be going up against a guy who he's fought already. I don't even know why there was a rematch here. But you know what? This guy, he deserves it. He worked his way back up the ladder. I mean, so not too mad about it. It should be interesting. And that's his, Adonis Stevenson's opponent is going to be Andre Fonfara, who's 29 wins, 17 by knockout, 4 losses, and 2 of those are by knockout, 2 of those losses, and 1 actually was the first fight when he fought Adonis Stevenson the first time. But Fonfara is still a young guy. He's 29 years old, standing at 6'2", 77-inch reach, so there won't be no reach benefit for Stevenson. Fonfara's last TKO was against Chad Dawson. He also stopped Chavez Jr. about a year ago, but Fonfara was knocked out against Joe Smith Jr., who's actually going to be fighting in June as well. This is a title defense for Stevenson, and more likely a tune-up. And hopefully he's going to be scheduled in for the winner of the Ward's Sergey Kovalev fight. I'd like to see that. This is going to be Adonis's first fight since a long stretch of inactivity. I believe he was out for about a year or so. So I'm looking forward to seeing him getting back in the ring and mixing it up. On June the 9th, there's a female boxing match between Cecilia First Lady Braekhus and Erica Annabella Fonfara. And this looks, on paper, it looks like a hell of a fight, man. I mean, you're going to have the IBF, WBC, WBA, WBO, IBO belts all on the line. There is no catch weight. Erica's actually moving up from super lightweight. Braekhus, for you who don't know, she's undefeated. 30 out of 30 fights. She's won all 30. She's only knocked out 8 of her opponents, so she doesn't have too much power. She's 35 years old, standing at 5'7", and is originally from Colombia. Erica, on the other hand, is 24-10, so she got a little bit more power, a little less fights, but she does have a loss in her record. She's 32 years old, and she'll be coming up in weight to challenge Cecilia for, I think, 5 belts on the line here. Looks like it's going down in Norway. Haven't heard about it being televised by anybody, but this is definitely a super fight for female boxing, and I was kind of wondering why there was no agreed catch weight here. But I mean, all respect goes out to Erica for just coming up and taking on the beast Cecilia, First Lady Braekhus, for these championships. Also, don't understand why female boxing isn't being promoted more. And I'm guessing that I'm going to start covering a little bit more on my channel here. On June 15th, you're going to have Joe Smith Jr. going up against a real test. Joe Smith Jr., I mean, he's had some good fights, man. He's knocked out Fonfara. He's knocked out Bernard Hopkins. Actually knocked B-Hop straight out the ring, man. So, I mean, check out Joe Smith Jr. on the 15th. That's going to be on HBO, and he's taking on a Cuban boxer, Cuban defector, Sullivan Barrera, whose only loss is to Andre Ward. And I'll be looking to see who comes out of that with a good win. I think that's just about it for June. But it looks like we got some really nice fights coming up in June. So stay tuned, check those out. Like I said before, I'd be taking Stevenson over Fonfara, Alvarez over Pascual. And it's a 50-50 pretty much between Sullivan Barrera and Joe Smith Jr. Joe Smith Jr. doesn't have too much of an amateur background to draw from as far as experience, but the kid has hella power, man. I mean, he's been knocking out guys left and right, hoping that this kid actually makes some good money, because I do believe he's still working his day job as a construction worker. So I'd like to see Joe Smith Jr. put in a position where he can dedicate 100% of his time to the sport, and I think he's going to be heading big places. All right, fight fans, it's the Mighty Mean Joe Frazier. 1.